Are your tomatoes or peppers doing weird things this year, like cracking or splitting or exploding? Or maybe you've got some weird circular rings around the top of your tomatoes that maybe you haven't seen before. In this video, we're going to discuss what causes tomatoes and some other fruit and vegetables to crack and split, and what you can do to help reduce it in the future. I'm Jonathan. Welcome to the Anole Garden. The easiest way to understand why your tomatoes are cracking and what to do about it is very simply to think of your tomatoes or other fruit as a balloon. This is a basic tomato. It's a Brad's atomic grape. And normally the way that we tell our atomic grape tomatoes are ripe is we give them a little squeeze. When they get a little bit soft and they have a tiny bit of give, they're ready and we can eat them. But this is one of our last ones. And I know this is ripe, but if I squeeze it, there is no give at all. So if we were to consider this like a water balloon, and it's full of water, and it's stretched about as big as it can go, if any more water gets forced in there, it's going to explode. You can see it's already starting to go there if I squeeze it a little bit. This is essentially what happens to tomatoes that crack. We've also seen this with other things. Our peppers will crack. We've even seen our navel oranges crack open. The downside of this is unless you can get to them right away once they've cracked, they're going to spoil very quickly and they attract bugs. In order to reduce the amount of cracking that your tomatoes get, we need to reduce the effect of water on the tomatoes. And there's a couple ways to address this. One is simply give them less water. That's easier said than done here in Florida. A lot of times, the tomatoes will get accustomed to a certain amount of water. If you then suddenly dump more water on them, they're not used to it, but they're still sucking up water at the same rate. They pull in too much water and then will split. In Florida this year, and a lot of other places are like this, we had almost a month with no rain whatsoever. And then we got 2 weeks where it rained every day. Sometimes it rained up to 3 inches in one day in our area. That change from not having a lot of water to suddenly having a ton of water is what causes the cracking of most fruit. When a plant doesn't have enough water, it gets used to that amount. Once you exceed that amount, it's not used to dealing with that, and a lot of times that will cause it to suddenly take in more water than it's used to, because that's what's available. That's what causes the cracking. So if you can't control the weather, what can you do? One thing you can do is get your plants used to the amount of water that they're going to get. So if you know that every year in the summer, you're suddenly going to get a lot of rain, start upping the amount of water that you're going to give your plants as you approach that rainy season. So while I know you can never do as much water as nature is going to provide, you can at least get a little bit closer as you know that the rainy seasons are coming. To avoid your tomatoes cracking and other fruits, simply increase the amount of water that you're giving them a couple weeks before you know the rain is going to come. That'll hopefully get you a little less cracking. You'll never be able to get rid of it entirely, but that should hopefully help. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.